What up, YouTube? Your boy Gabby's back. Oh man, the last video I did, I was choking on something. I was drinking like some pumpkin spice type thing, and the spice kind of went in my throat, and I was coughing throughout the video. It was just terrible. It was terrible. I mean, the pumpkin was trying to kill me. Hopefully, this time around, brought water with me instead of that pumpkin spice. I don't think pumpkin spice for me. Last time around, what we talked about? We talked about art. We talked about art, graphic novels and mangas, etc., etc. We talked about motivation, how to keep yourself motivated. If you want to watch videos, you can, etc. But today we are talking about American manga companies, and you're probably saying American manga companies, what? What's this, Dark Horse or stuff like that? And no, but have you ever found yourself looking through YouTube trying to find American manga companies or publishers? Or have you ever tried typing in like indie American manga, looking for American mangas to read? I know that there's a lot of mangas on Webtoons and other platforms, but the problem is that they're not really American, or probably they're not the type of stuff that you're looking for. So today we are going to be talking about this, and why is it so important to actually, build like an American manga company. The reason for that is that we all know that comics are suffering. They've been suffering for a while now. There's even a lot of comic book stores that has, gone like non-extinct. Well, that have gone extinct, that they're non-existent. I'm sorry. And and I just think that the whole situation for that is because people don't actually try to create something new, trying to put something new on the market instead of just, spamming the whole Superman, Batman, etc., etc., which I have no problem with. I am a fan of Batman and stuff like that. But, people want to see something new. People want to see something fresh. And this is why it's the whole reason of, making your own company per se. And today we are going to be talking about making your own company. Now, when I say this, I don't mean that you have to go out and like buy a building or like buy a house and like put artists in there and wow, you have your company, hey, no. I'm not talking about any of that. Building a company is simply it simply is what I'm referring to. Building your company, meaning you grab a group of people. It could be 2, it could be 3, it could be 4. I mean, it could just be you. It could just be yourself. You go and you make a good manga like anime, meaning it doesn't necessarily have to look like the Japanese. Just because it doesn't look like exactly from Japan, it doesn't mean that it's not a quality. And that's the key part that we're talking about here. Quality. Art is art. There's bad art, there's good art. Yes, we understand that. We're living in this reality, and at the same time, there's a lot of people that says that there's no such thing as bad art. That art is art. Half of it is true, half of it is not. There is good art and bad art. But what I'm saying here is that just because you don't draw in the Japanese style or fully Japanese, it doesn't mean that it's bad art. It's not. It's art, and that's what we're talking about here. Art is you putting your all 100%, something that looks satisfying, something that's satisfying to see, something that's decent. Doesn't have to be the best in the world, but at least it's satisfying to see. You can sit down and you can read a book of this because the art is that good, right? That's what we're talking about. Just making your own way of doing shonen type mangas, but in American format. Meaning, not comic books, 30, 40 pages and one issue. No, we're talking about, the manga 8 chapters, 9 chapters, sometimes even 6 chapters long, 150 pages, 200 pages, 250 pages type books. This is what we're talking about, but in American format, that's actually a quality. Meaning what? You go ahead, you assemble your people. If you have friends that are into manga, stuff like that, you give them the story and you have them read it. And you get different credible opinions if your story is good or not. So basically it's forming your own publisher. So that way they can give you the okay plus your state of mind knowing that the story is okay enough to actually make and to actually put it out there. This is what I'm talking about. Sometimes don't go to family members. Family members sometimes they say, oh yeah, that's good, that's great, and they brush you to the side. That's not what you want. You don't need that. You need real criticism from a credible party. That's what you actually need. So yeah, we know that Saturday AM is a company like that. They have wonderful artists. They have wonderful art. They have wonderful stories. And they put it out there. Now, wouldn't it be great if we get more companies just like Saturday AM, which is a group of people that came together to put their stories out there with a quality? It would be awesome. Let's say like a good 10 people. When I mean 10 people, I mean 10 companies. Each company, being 2, 3, 4, 5 artists, or even the one artist, and you come up and you force it upon the market. You force it upon the American consumers up to the point where they have to consume the product, meaning that you're forcing them to acknowledge that American like manga actually exists in America, up to the point where they go out there and they support you because the story is good. It's pretty much building up a crowd, but building up a crowd for a genre to exist in your own country. And when I say America, I'm not just talking about America. I'm talking about, everywhere around the world. There's actually a podcast that we actually talk about this. We go into it, but not fully into it like I want to go into it today. So, there's a lot of dreams. There's a lot of things going on. A lot of times I know that every dream cannot come true. That's true. But if you have the talent and you have the time to actually do this, by all means, please just go ahead and do this, because there are other countries that I assure you they were not accustomed to manga, and a couple of artists came up and they actually made something great, and now their country actually consumes their product. And the good thing of this is like the French. The French actually started doing this. The Korean society actually started doing this. The Chinese society actually started doing this. I know there's people in Saudi Arabia, if I can remember correctly, that are actually trying to do this as well. People from Mexico that are actually trying to do this as well. The whole culture of manga culture, pop culture is out there. It's not like it's not like it only belongs to one country. Just because a country invents something, puts a product out there, it doesn't mean that it only necessarily belongs to them and that only people from that country can actually do this. People have to break out of that mindset. There's a lot of people with the mindset in the United States and even all over around the world, because I've seen people from like the Latino places and stuff like that, Hispanics that actually how do you call this? Yeah, that actually punishes the people that trying to do manga, that trying to put their series out there, just because it doesn't look like the Japanese media, right? So, people sometimes they have to give a chance. Just because something is different, it doesn't mean it's bad. You have to give it a chance. You have to go out there and you have to just put yourself out there. You have to take a risk, because I'm gonna tell you something. In this life, without risk, there's nothing. There's literally nothing. Everything here comes with a risk. You just go and you put yourself out there. And I promise you, if you have the quality, if you have enough tenacity, you will make it somewhere. So that's why I am here today, because I know that in the future, we're going to do something great. We're on road of greatness and we're getting there, people. Also, if you want to see more, or if you want to see artwork from our series, since I am the creator of Me the Mumby, you can go ahead and check it out on Instagram as Slap Punch Enterprise, and you can see more stuff down there. But yeah, it's your boy Gabby, and peace out.